And we do have one attendee. I don't know if that's our Councilman Meyer. Okay, so it's you coming in. All right, great. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Town Board of the Town of Austin regular meeting for Tuesday, January 25th, 2022. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Councilmember Feldman?
Present.
Councilmember Meyer?
Present.
Councilmember Monique?
Here.
Supervisor Levenberg?
Here I am.
Okay.
All right, so first up, we have a public hearing. First on our agenda is the public hearing on the cabaret license for Maya Riviera. Their application has been reviewed by the town building department and the Austin Police Department, and they recommend that the town board approve the application. Councilor Donna, do you have anything to add? Shaking your head in the no direction? Oh.
Okay. So this is a renewal. This is something that pursuant to the town code, the town does regularly, annually, for establishments within the unincorporated town that serve food and beverage and also provide live music. So this is pretty standard. Maya Riviera has been before the board many times before. As a prerequisite, as the supervisor mentioned, it does go to the buildings department and the police department to make sure that there are no outstanding issues. And the code provides that any members of the public that may wish to speak on whether the application should be renewed are given an opportunity to do so. So that is what this is for tonight. If there is no one in the public and if the board has no further questions, if you want additional information from the applicant, we can certainly seek that. But if not, the board can close the public hearing and we can put a resolution on for your next meeting, your next legislative session, which I believe is February 8th, for approval for the cabaret license for the 2022 calendar year.
Fantastic. All right, well, we will open it up, and seeing there we have no attendees, we could also ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay. I noted that the village is walking back their hours that they allow live music, but I don't think we've ever had any problems with Maya Rivera, and the building department, police department don't have any problems. So I don't see that we need to do that, but we can always use it as an option later if we want to change our code, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that our code is, they asked for extended hours on a couple of the nights, I believe, and we haven't had any problems. We gave it to them on a limited basis the first time around, and then again the next time around, and we, kind of extended it because of COVID, and we just really haven't had an issue. So I don't see what the need is. We haven't really been getting complaints about them, so I don't think that that's an issue.
No, I agree.
Okay.
All right.
So do I have
Motion
a-
to close. Here you go.
Thank you.
The resolutions we prepare for the board always make clear, even though I think it should go without saying, but or does for 1 year does not preclude revisiting that based upon comments or based upon changes in circumstances that may occur.
So, okay, once again, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions or discussion? All those in favor of closing the public hearing?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Wonderful. Moving right along. We have a public hearing on proposed local law number 1 of 2022 regarding the veterans' real property tax exemptions in the town. We have discussed this legislation at 2 work sessions now, and tonight is the first night of the public hearing. Councilor Donna, anything to add on this one?
So a draft local law has been prepared. It was circulated to the town board as well as to the assessor, Fernando Gonzalez, who initially presented this prospect to the board. What this does is that it creates the option for the alternative veterans exemption, which is just a flat base rate on the assessed value of the property. And that's something that currently under the town code is not available. So that would expand the opportunities that veterans located in the unincorporated town have to avail themselves of the benefits that the state legislature has already deemed to be opportunities for them. It also increases the Cold War veterans exemption to the currently highest level that's permitted under the state law.
Thank you. And so with that, are there any members of the public who are here this evening to comment on a local law, draft local law number 1 of 2022 regarding the veterans real property tax exemptions in the town? If so, if you could raise your virtual hand and we will recognize you for this public hearing. And seeing none. Council Donna, suggestions? Would you think this is?
It's
something-
really in the purview of the board, whether you want to close the public hearing tonight. We can certainly have a resolution prepared for your legislative session for the board's consideration to adopt the local law. If you wanted to keep the public hearing open until then, that would preclude voting on the local law. So given that there's no one in the public, you certainly can close it, or you can extend it to the next meeting and do it then.
Feelings, anybody feeling any which way? I mean, it doesn't seem like we're going to get a maelstrom of people opposed to this exemption, I don't think. I mean, we might get some people coming to say, please do this.
Yeah, I'm okay with closing it now.
Anybody else? Councilman Minichi?
I'm okay with closing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good either way. I think it's going to be a no-brainer. Everybody's going to agree with it, pretty much in the public and everything for our veterans. So I would motion to close.
All right. And is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, so next up, are we moving up this resolution or not? Let me see.
I mean, we might as well. We could still do a little bit of a special
Okay,
thing for it.
so before we continue with the rest of our meeting agenda, I would like to pause to adopt a special resolution accepting the resignation of our lead auto mechanic, Gary Cesari. We had hoped that Gary could join us virtually tonight, but he was unable to because he is unfortunately having to attend the funeral for his colleague, Juan Toribio's father, who sadly passed away last week. With tomorrow being Gary's last day, we stopped by the highway department earlier this afternoon to present him with a special proclamation, which I'm going to ask Victoria to share on the screen now, and also some photos from today. I think, can I read it? I think I'll be able to read it. Okay, I'm just going to read it because it's such a nice proclamation. Proclamation in recognition of Gary Cesari. Whereas Gary Cesari has played an essential role in keeping the machinery of the town of Ossining Highway Department, both literally and figuratively, running smoothly for 16 years. And whereas when Gary started working for the town of Ossining in 2006, he came to the job with a great deal of experience, having worked for the Village of Croton Department of Public Works for nearly 10 years, having owned his own auto repair service, and having studied under the tutelage of Bob Sherwood at Windsor Service on Croton Avenue since high school. And he mentioned today that he is still his mentor. And whereas Gary has always been dedicated to keeping the town of Ossining fleet and sewer lift stations up and running, while also looking out for the taxpayers' bottom line, ensuring the town is the most efficient and effective highway department in the business. And whereas Gary has been a great mentor to the entire highway department crew, even teaching Superintendent Pete Connolly a thing or two during his tenure, and he will be missed greatly by town staff and residents. We hope that his retirement will bring quality time well spent with his wife, children, grandchildren, and yes, maybe a few cars too. Now, therefore be it resolved that I, Dana A. Levenberg, Supervisor of the Town of Ossining, with the enthusiastic support of the Ossining Town Board, do hereby congratulate Gary Cesari upon his retirement from the Town of Ossining Highway Department and wish him all the best in his future endeavors, and be it further resolved that December 26th, 2022 be named Gary Cesari Day in the Town of Ossining in recognition of Gary's 16 years of dedicated service to the Town of Ossining Highway Department. So you can see, I don't know if we can see the pictures from today, Gary accepting his proclamation very humbly. And all the guys
like
were
that one.
there. And it was really, really very nice. And thank you to Victoria Caffarelli for preparing the proclamation and taking the pictures.
Of course.
So anyway, I hope you all have a lot of plans for tomorrow for Gary Cesari Day in the Town of Ossining. With that, I am going, I don't know if anybody wanted to say anything about Gary, if anybody knows him, wants that had a relationship with him, wanted to throw in a word or two, or congratulations from the town board.
Well, he'll surely be missed. I've known Gary many, many, many years, well before I was on the town board. And he is a top-notch mechanic, and he's doesn't pull any punches. He'll tell you exactly, how he feels and what needs to be done. And he was really good at taking care of the fleet and getting everything done. I have no illusions that he's going to go sit and take up knitting or anything. I'm pretty sure he'll be out there fixing, things throughout the community. And he'll be missed. I think he probably did a really good job, teaching Chuck, the ways of the world, and he'll be missed. You can't replace somebody like him. So I wish him well.
Thank you. And awesome, thank you. Yeah, and I'll concur that he is not going to be sitting around knitting. He did mention that he might do a little babysitting for his granddaughter. He only has one granddaughter, but he has a number of other grandsons. But he's looking forward to that if he has time, because he's been getting phone calls. His phone's ringing off the hook for business, and he's I think he's already booked solid for the next, at least 6 months. So if you need a mechanic, don't bother calling Gary because he's booked. No, I'm just joking. He's a great mechanic, and he works on all the big equipment, and really has done a stellar job. So we're very grateful for his service. So thanks again, Gary, and you will be missed.
Okay. I think we
so-
still need to do the resolution though.
Oh, I still need to do the resolution.
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Mark.
Okay. Personnel resignation for retirement. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby accepts with regret the resignation of Gary Cesari from the position of lead maintenance mechanic automotive in the town of Ossining Highway Department effective January 27th, 2022 for purposes of retirement. Do I have a motion?
So
I'll
move.
move. Second. Fine.
With regret. All
With
those in
regret.
favor? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 With regret.
Anybody opposed? Thank you. Okay, so I think up next we have our announcements and Supervisor and Town Board announcements. I will start it off. Thankfully, the COVID-19 surge that we experienced in the New York metro area in late December and early January seems to finally be decreasing significantly and quickly. Case numbers in Ossining and Westchester County are down by half at 911 for the town of Ossining, including both villages, and 20,176 for all of Westchester County. Of course, this is not the time to let down our guard, and we should continue masking, testing, and getting vaccinated and boosted. Vaccines and boosters are available at the Ossining Volunteer Ambulance Corps. As we've reminded you multiple times, you can visit their website at ossininvac.org/COVID-19 for more information, as well as many local pharmacies. The Biden administration launched www.covidtests.gov last week, and all households can order, I think, 4 free test kits from this site, 4 per household. Also, there is testing around the county, so as well as vaccines And I'm pretty sure all of that information is available on the county website. Congratulations are in order for, and also on ours. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Congratulations are in order for Ossining High School student Nyesha Nyoni, who has been named one of the top 40 finalists in the Regeneron Science Talent Search. This is an incredible accomplishment. Ossining is very proud of you, Nyesha, and I do believe this means she gets to meet the president of the United States. Pretty sure. The Ossining School District is holding a book drive. Drop off books at any Ossining school or 400 Executive Boulevard, the administrative building. The books requested are elementary books, copyright 2008 or newer, and your donation will help the Ossining schools further their mission to improve childhood literacy by providing a plethora of books for our students to read. Save the date for the 5th annual Galata House Escape from Sing Sing Polar Plunge, scheduled for Saturday, February 12th at 11 a.m. I believe Councilwoman Feldman assured me she was going to be doing this with me this year. No, okay. Oh, Councilman Minichio, I haven't hit you up yet. Councilman Meyer? Anybody on this Zoom call at all? Jamie Black? Okay. In any case, just joking. Let's see, the proceeds of, let's see, did I say, okay. So if you, like me, are planning to plunge, make sure to get there early at 10:15 a.m. on Saturday, February 12th. Or if not, please donate to Team Dana at galatahouse.org to log in your donation, sponsor a plunger like me, or register. The proceeds from this fun annual event support Westchester County families in need and scholarships for high school students. We know Galata House did an amazing job throughout the pandemic, helping to feed up and down our Hudson Valley, our communities, and all up to Peekskill and down to Sleepy Hollow, Tarrytown, and everything in between. So we're grateful for all their assistance and always their help when they always step up to help everybody in the area. T-Town Hudson River Eagle Fest returns February 4th, 5th, and 6th, 2022. Celebrate the annual winter migration of bald eagles to the lower Hudson Valley with a mix of programs sure to please the stay-at-home armchair birder and those looking for more adventure. Join in for this amazing 3-day festival featuring in-person programs at T-Town, guided bird walks at Croton Point Park, engaging virtual presentations, and more. Learn more and purchase tickets at ttown.org/events/EagleFest. And I've certainly been participating in Eagle Fest for many years, and it is so wonderful. And it's so nice to see they've come up with a hybrid approach to this program to make sure that everybody can be safe and socially distant, still see the incredible eagles and experience the Hudson River and all that it has to offer. And I will ask if any of my board colleagues have any announcements. Councilman Minichio? No?
Nope.
Okay. I'm gonna, your box turned green on my screen, so I thought maybe you had something to say. That's the only reason I'm asking. Okay. So
Actually,
I'm
False
gonna-
alarm.
there you go. Tomorrow's a Briar Cliff Caucus, so all those who live in Briar Cliff can
Voting.
vote tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow is a voting day. And I believe, are they having now hybrid? There's a number of different places that you can vote in person. I think you can drop your ballot off. And also, I think that you can, it's, you know.
There was a absentee option. They have a place to drop it off outside if you're not comfortable going in. They have a place to drop it inside if you're okay with that. They've really gone all out to make sure that it's
Right.
accessible to everybody.
I'm pretty sure the village manager's report offered the details. And if not, the People's Caucus, I think on Facebook, you can find more information. And that's should help you if you didn't know about it. Those are some places that you can turn to get more information. And I'm now going to go into my administrative report on town operations. You may have noticed this week that the weekly supervisors update has gotten a bit of a facelift. We are hoping this new format, which directs readers to pages on the town website with categorized information on arts and enrichment, upcoming events, COVID-19 updates, career and education assistance programs throughout the county, federal government, New York State, and more will be a helpful resource to you on a weekly basis. The supervisor's update is always available on the town website if you need to access information outside of our usual Friday evening blasts. Please do sign up for town email alerts and news easily accessible on our website. If you already subscribe to our updates and updates from our tax receiver, Holly Perlowitz, you know that second half school taxes are due by January 31st, 2022. That's for both Briarcliff and Ossining school districts, as are Village of Ossining taxes for those who live in the Village of Ossining. It is easy to pay online, or you can also mail your payment, drop your payment in the dedicated mail slot at the Ossining post office, or stop by our offices during office hours to make payment. Please be wary of online bill pay from your bank. The deadline is getting closer, and it is unlikely this method of payment will make it to our office on time. Tax receiver Holly Perlowitz plans on opening the office this Saturday, January 29th, from 9 a.m. to noon for any taxpayers who are unable to make payment during our normal business hours. We may have to cancel these additional office hours, however, so do plan ahead, because we are expecting snow, or we see snow is in the forecast for Saturday. So please keep an eye out for updates on the town social media or website on Friday for a cancellation notice if needed. We continue to advocate on behalf of our residents in the Crotonville neighborhood of Ossining to mitigate the noise which seems to be stemming from the Croton-Harmon Metro North Station. As is noted in the agenda, there is a resolution for the board's consideration to engage B. Lang Associates to assist the town in evaluating noise monitoring data collected by Metro North. We were happy to learn last week that Metro North agreed to additional noise testing in response to these complaints, and we are grateful to have experts on the town's behalf advising the additional data collection and reviewing the data. Thank you to the town board for considering this proposal. I know the residents in this neighborhood will greatly appreciate the support. This week, Town Council Christy Adana, Victoria Caffarelli, and I participated in the bi-weekly conference call with County Executive George Latimer and his staff on COVID-19 and other current issues. The county has provided municipalities with test kits for use by essential workers, including frontline municipal staff and first responders. We are grateful for these additional resources and know that these are key tools to ensuring our municipal staff can come to work each day healthy and safe and ready to serve the community. County Executive Latimer and his staff also emphasized the resources available to renters and homeowners who may be facing eviction or foreclosure due to COVID-19 related financial difficulties now that the moratoria on evictions and foreclosures have lapsed in New York State. All of those resources have been compiled in the supervisor's update under assistance programs. So I urge anyone who is in need of help, or you know somebody who is, to please seek out these resources on the town website. And I'm now going to turn it over to Victoria Caffarelli for an update on our tree maintenance program at Lewis Engel and Ryder Parks, as well as for an update on some collaborative work she's been doing with the Village of Ossining to ensure we are ready to return to hybrid meetings when the state emergency order allowing remote meetings eventually expires. Victoria.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, so today I met with Craig Stevens, who is the town's tree warden and an ISA certified arborist, who has been helping me develop a scope of work for the grant funded project for tree maintenance at Lewis Engel and Ryder Parks. So just to back up a little bit, the last year we found out that the town had been awarded a grant in the amount of $33,750 to go towards tree maintenance at Lewis Engel and Ryder Parks. The total project budget for this project is $42,200, as is indicated in the agenda. Later this evening, there is a match that the town has to contribute. So I turned to Craig Stevens to help me develop and finalize a scope of work for this project. We had initially planned on doing this as one large project with both parks being bid at the same time. But today, when we really sat down to kind of sharpen our pencils and put together a final scope of work, he recommended that it may be a good idea to look at this more as a phased approach, where we start with Lewis Engle Park, then move to Ryder Park, because the scope of work at Lewis Engle is much more reduced and probably more in the range of $5,000 to $10,000 as part of the budget. So for moving forward in this way, for the Engle Park portion of the project, or phase one, we'll approach it as we normally do for a project of this amount of money, where we seek quotes. We have a list of qualified vendors that the DEC has worked on in the past for these types of grant funded projects. So we're going to approach those vendors to develop 3 quotes for phase one of that project, then continue our work at Ryder Park and finalizing the tree lists. The initial tree lists that we had applied for were developed in 2019 when we applied for this grant. And as you can imagine, with COVID and everything, it took a while before the state released the awards. So he has identified some trees that either have been taken down and are no longer need to be part of this project, or trees that may need to be added to the scope. So we'll be finalizing that list and then going out for a more formal bid for Ryder Park. So coming down to tonight's agenda, there are 2 resolutions relating to this project on the agenda. So I would ask that the town board do move forward on resolution G, which is setting the capital project for this project, so we can move forward with phase one through purchase order, quotes and purchase order process, and table resolution E, which would be to issue the request for proposals, so that we can again finalize the scope for Ryder Park and consider this at a later date. Then finally, I have also been working very closely with Jamie Hoffman in the Village of Ossining. Right now, obviously, we are able to hold our meetings via just a remote platform on Zoom, but we know that even when we do have to return to some form of in-person meetings, it's unlikely that we're ever going to go completely away from hybrid meetings, where some members of the public or consultants or staff or special guests may want to appear remotely. So we're making sure that we have the appropriate technology in both of our meeting rooms at 16 Croton and at the courthouse, so that we can have the best Zoom hybrid experience possible. Zoom actually sells equipment that is fairly affordable, so we're looking into that and making sure it aligns with GoTV and streaming and all that good stuff, so that when we do have to return to in-person meetings, we can continue to offer the convenience of having a hybrid style for the public and for our consultants and staff. So if there's any questions about either of those items, otherwise that's what we've got going on this week.
Thank you very much.
Just out of curiosity, were you able to see the setup that they were using for the hybrid meeting?
What do you mean?
Was it similar to the one we were using briefly?
It's similar, but what's different about it is the equipment is really designed for it. So as you might recall, we had like lots of TV screens and different microphones and cameras and webcams and things like that. The product that Zoom sells is a more integrated device, where it's one camera, one microphone, but it captures it as if it recognizes that there's multiple people in the room. So I'm not sure if you've ever been on a Zoom meeting where the people in the Zoom meeting are in a conference room, and you sort of see, well, this person's talking, the camera zooms in on them. And then if nobody's talking, it zooms back out, and then it changes focus. So it's some automated equipment that makes the experience a little better than what we were able to offer with our own sort of analog system.
Great, thank you. Interested to see it.
And just for the benefit of the board, what the law currently requires, absent the state of emergency that allows these meetings to be held via Zoom, is related to the board members themselves. So if there's a board that is meeting and acting and conducting business, those board members need to be present in public, and the public needs to be able to view them. So that's why Victoria was saying that we could have consultants and staff or guests attend remotely, or even the public attend remotely. What the law actually requires is specific to the board members.
But I do think that it allows board members to be remote. It just means that you have to notice the public as to where you're going to be. So if in fact the public wanted to come look at you in whatever place you were, they would have the option to do so.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So if there aren't any other further questions about the administrative report, we will move along to public comment on agenda items only. Is there anybody from the public who'd like to be recognized on any of the agenda items that we will be, resolutions that we will be voting on? So please raise your virtual hand. We'll recognize you. Seeing no virtual hands, we can go into our resolutions.
Okay, approval of minutes, reorganizational and regular meeting, January 11th, 2022. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby approves the January 11th, 2022 minutes of the reorganizational and regular meeting as presented.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Approval of minutes, special meeting, January 18th, 2022. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby approves the January 18th, 2022 minutes of the special meeting as presented.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Okay. Approval of voucher detail report. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby approves the voucher detail report dated January 25th, 2022 in the amount of $770,060.58 for 2021 and $384,096.47 for 2022 for a grand total of $1,154,157.05.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
So this is quite a large voucher run because it includes payment on two major capital projects underway at McCarthy Drive and Morningside Drive, as well as our health insurance payment for February. Questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Okay, tax payment plan, 5 South Malcolm Street, whereas the town of Austin is required to collect town, county, and school taxes for the municipality, the onus of the town to make whole the county and school district for any uncollected taxes. And whereas the receiver of taxes has been approached by property owner requesting a short-term payment plan for the property at 5 South Malcolm Street, tax parcel designation ID number 97.7-5-76. And whereas the town board pursuant to Article 5 of the Austin Town Code as authorized by Section 1184 of the New York Real Property Tax Law, before entry of a final judgment may withdraw a parcel for which payment of real property taxes is delinquent from a foreclosure proceedings and enter into an installment plan for payment of all delinquent taxes, as well as interest and penalties, and does occasionally grant such a plan. And has the discretion to accept or reject any proposal by a residential property owner, providing the owner meets the eligibility requirements set forth in Section 180-17 of the Town Code, and the payment plan conforms to the requirements for such a repayment plan set forth in Section 180-18 of the Town Code. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby grants the aforementioned payment plan, which terms comply with the town code, to this property owner who has been determined to be eligible, with the understanding that this sets no precedent going forward for this or any other property in the future.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
So please note, this tax payment plan is for 5 South Malcolm Street. The version of the agenda that was posted on Friday noted 55 South Malcolm Street, which was a typo. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
Okay, and then are we tabling the next resolution?
Yes, motion to table. Do I have a motion to table the resolution E for tree maintenance? RF.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? We don't have to read it, Christy, do we? Okay, just checking.
Okay. Contract senior citizen taxi services. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin authorizes the supervisor to sign contracts with the following taxi cab operators to participate in the senior citizen taxi services program from calendar year 2022, subject to approval by council to the town as to form. Aguila Taxi, Amigos Taxi, Big Taxi, Briar Taxi, Equa Taxi, JBC Taxi, Liberty Taxi, L&L Safety Taxi, Mommy's Taxi, New Mega Taxi, Austin Taxi, Radio Taxi, Spring Taxi, Super Taxi, and Union Taxi.
Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
did we know that you could come up with so many names for a taxi company? I don't think so. So this year, we're trying a new approach to our senior taxi coupon program, offering participation in this program to all licensed taxi operators in the Village of Austining. We are hopeful that this will provide more flexibility to our seniors and a more clear communication of the rules and regulations of the program. Thank you so much to our tax clerk's office, senior nutrition program, and town council, and also to Victoria Caffarelli for putting together these contracts. Questions or discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Finance Capital Project number 2022-5233, 2022 Tree Maintenance Town Parks. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining authorizes opening a 2022 capital project number 2022-5233 titled 2022 Tree Maintenance for the Town Parks Department with a project budget of $42,200. The project will be funded by the New York State DEC Urban and Community Forest Grant of $33,750 and a transfer from general fund of $8,450.
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
So this town received $40,000 in funding. Is that the right thing? No, I'm not.
No,
I'm
this is the tree
on
one.
the wrong one. Sorry. This is the tree grant. Okay. So as Victoria discussed earlier, this is a primarily grant funded project and we're excited to get it underway. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Thanks.
Okay.
Close amounts of money between this one and the next one. So
Finance Capital Project number 2022-5234, 2022 Cedar Lane Art Center AVAC Upgrade Town Parks. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining authorizes opening a 2022 capital project number 2022-5234 entitled 2022 Cedar Lane Art Center HVAC Upgrade for the Town Parks Department with a project budget of $47,520. The project will be funded from NYSERDA grant of $40,000 and a transfer from general fund of $7,520.
do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So the town received $40,000 in funding from the NYSERDA Clean Energy Communities Program for clean heating and cooling upgrades for the Cedar Lane Art Center. We have a proposal from our annual bidder for electrician services and quotes from HVAC contractors to start this project, but first we need to get the capital project set up. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thanks.
Acceptance of proposal noise consultant. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining accepts a proposal from B Lang Associates, Fort Salonga, New York 11768 to serve as an environmental consultant to the town regarding noise in the Crotonville area of the unincorporated town of Austining for an amount not to exceed $6,000. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So as discussed, we look forward to working with B Lang Associates in our continued discussions with Metro North to address noise complaints from our residents in the Crotonville neighborhood of town. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Okay, Justice Court Town Constables. Resolved that the Town Board hereby appoints the following to the position of Town Constable at an hourly rate of $50 to serve at the pleasure of the board during calendar year 2022. Raymond Mena, Yonkers, New York.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
So with the departure of our beloved Franklin Jackson Jr. and his much deserved retirement in the fall, we have been in need of a new constable. Raymond Mena has been serving as a court attendant since June in our town court and has experience in other courts as well as with Westchester County Police. He is also bilingual, which we know will serve residents of the town well. Thanks, Ray, for taking on this added responsibility. And by the way, I heard from Franklin this morning and he's already asking for reference for another job because he's tired of retirement. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
Okay, call for public hearing, local law number 2 of 2022. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining hereby calls for a public hearing to be held in the matter of local law to amend chapter 47 of the Town Code of Residency Requirements with respect to town constable position on Tuesday, February 8th, 2022 at 7:30 PM to held via video conferencing only pursuant to chapter 417 of the laws of 2021 of the state of New York, as subsequently amended, with the login information available in the town's website in advance of the meeting.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
So as the town searched for a new constable, we realized it was not exactly clear in the town code, but the residency requirements were for a constable. We did not find anything in state law that precluded the town from appointing Ray as a constable, but in an effort to ensure clarity in the future regarding residency considerations for constable, our council recommended the town board consider a local law to identify the same residency requirements for constable as adopted for court attendant, since we often look to appoint individuals who serve as court attendant to serve as constable. Councilor Donna, do you have anything to add?
I think that was an excellent summary. The code does currently in, I believe it was August of 2020, the town board adopted a local law to implement the same residency requirements for town court attendants. And as has been indicated, often and that's partially due to the fact that the county civil service requirement for town court attendant is very stringent. And so it's challenging to find personnel residents within the town of Austining who are eligible. And so the town board had determined at that time to look to still within the state of New York, but if you were a resident of Westchester County or an abutting county within the state, then you would still be eligible. And so given that a lot of the qualifications overlap and for consistency purposes, it may make sense to have someone in the constable position that either does or can serve in the town court attendant position. This is really just kind of tying up loose ends. And so it's clear going forward what can be done in that position.
Any questions?
And I have begun working on a local law with Victoria, and we'll certainly get that to the board, and it can be posted to the public in advance of the public hearing on the 8th.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Anybody opposed? I'm sorry, did you say? Council?
Not on this. I have a
Okay.
question.
Okay, okay, you have a question.
Yeah, I just want to circle back to the taxis because some of these taxi cabs have been known to possibly be problematic. So we reserve the right to take them off our list if need be, correct?
That's true.
Yes, and I think, for the town clerk, we'll give an update the next time she's before the board, but the clerk's office plays a very big role in the licensing of taxi companies, especially this year. That's something that they've taken on since Sue Donnelly has been clerk. And I know she's very strict about making sure that they are following the rules. And we did include provisions in the contract to say that, if you're not following the rules of being a taxi company, your taxi license is revoked. You're not participating in this program either. So the idea here, what we had been experiencing is, seniors not being able to find taxis in the limited amount of companies that we would have these contracts with in the past. Also, the rules were not immediately clear to both the taxi companies and the seniors. So with this process, the clerk's office was able to sit down with each of the taxi operators when they got their licenses last weekend, saying, here are the rules of this program, here's the contract, here's everything you need to abide by, sign off on it, and participate in the program. And we're giving some more flexibility to the seniors as well. So hopefully everything about this will make it a better experience for the seniors. And we have sort of all on our tickler for June or July of this year to check in and see how things are going. But this is something that the senior program requested as well as the clerk's office. So
We really have been getting a lot of complaints that they just didn't have enough options.
No, I remember that. I wouldn't hate, kind of mid-year to see if the senior program doesn't want to do a survey to see what people's experiences were with different companies just for kicks.
I think they definitely make their opinions known too. We hear there's
No filter?
yeah, no filter. Everybody knows what's going on, and it's reported between the clerk's office and the senior program. So hopefully this will go very well.
Thank you.
And the contract does absolutely allow for immediate termination by the town.
Okay.
All right, so next up, I think we're correspondence we received and filed.
Yes, okay. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austining hereby accepts the following correspondence: town planning board minutes, November 3rd, November 17th, and December 15th of 2021.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Next up, visitor recognition. Visitors shall be accorded 1 4-minute opportunity to speak. Is there anybody from the public who would like to be recognized on any topic whatsoever? I didn't hear anything. I did want to mention that we had put out a call for letters of interest and resumes for the position of town council, since one of our town council members had to step down at the beginning of her 4-year term. That the town is looking to appoint somebody into the position for 1 year of the remaining 4 years. And if that person who was applying for such position with the town was also interested in running for the remaining 3 years of the 4-year term, we would need to do so through the various rules set forth by the Board of Elections. So if, and Westchester County Board of Elections does have information on what you need to do to become a candidate for office. So just wanted to mention that in case anybody was on and had an interest in hearing more about that. The deadline for letters of interest is January 28th, which is in just a few days. Okay, so with that, and there's once again no questions or anything from the visitor that's here with us. All right, wonderful. So with that, we will go to a motion to adjourn for advice of counsel, personnel, and contracts for an executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Thank you very much, everybody. And we will be back next week with a work session on Zoom, February 1st, 2022, which is a Tuesday night, as per usual. Look forward to seeing you then, and hopefully bundled up around town. Have a great week, everybody.